So, immediate financial impact on our agribusiness. The immediate is revenue decline. You can see in the graph. The influx of cheaper imported rice lowers the market price. So that's the principle of the law of demand and supply. Reducing the revenue for the sale of our domestically produced rice. For the milling business, this means selling rice at a lower price. Here, if you can see, leading to a reduced profit margin. There's a huge fluctuation and a huge amount of potential or profit margins that should our farmers and our agribusiness enterprise like the milling business are affected. It has been reduced to their potential income. So, as part of the immediate financial impact on the business, cash flow challenges with reduced revenue and possible unsold inventory, the business may face cash flow issues. And the moment that you have that problem, there will be a struggle to meet the operational costs like labor, utilities, and debt repayment. So these problems will surely manifest in your business. So what is the implication? The long-term financial implication of this is the profit margins and sustained low prices can erode the profit margin. And we're talking about a long period of time in your business operation. The business may need to adopt a cost-cutting measures or diversify its product offerings to maintain profitability. You need to conceptualize as how entrepreneurs adapt and rise up to the challenges. As part of the long-term financial implication is the investment in modernization. The rice tarification law includes provisions for a rice competitiveness enhancement fund to support the agricultural modernization. However, if the business lacks access or connection, it cannot effectively utilize these funds, and it may fall behind the competitors who modernize their operations. And in that case, uh, in wide's perspective, I think this is somehow can be observed. And most of our farmers are in a marginal uh, organization. And then the credit risk as part of the financial implication. If the business has loans or credit lines, it will reduce profitability and may increase the risk of default, affecting its credit worthiness and ability to secure future financing. So here, the probability of default, loss given default, and also exposure default. These are a what we call uh, type of credit risk, and these risks are somehow impacted, are part of that scenario. So knowing that the problem is part of SWOT analysis, is not part of this lecture proper. We identified the weaknesses and threats, so we should also need to identify our strength and also the opportunities so that we can rise up against this endeavor. So Diversification, the business could diversify its operation, such as branching out into other crops or value added products like rice bran oil to mitigate the impact of low rice prices. So we need to look for alternative on how we can be able to cope up with these challenges. Here, example of the products derived from the rice bran. And somehow, it has a scientifically um, benefits in using this rice bran oil. So if you sell it in the raw product, it's cheaper. But once that you process it, you can sell it and demand a higher price of that product because there is a market for this. Especially, there are people who are somehow considered as health uh, conscious individuals that are willing to buy in the reasonable price. Then followed by operational efficiency. So investing in cost reduction strategies such as adopting more efficient milling technologies or optimizing logistics. This could help maintain profitability despite lower prices. And then leveraging the uh, Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund. So the business could explore opportunities to access funds from Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund to invest in modernization and improve productivity and enhance competitiveness. So if you are engaging seriously in this industry, um, this Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund by the DBP and Land Bank is a major consideration to avail and to apply it as part of your strategy in your business. So in this scenario, fluctuation in the market prices due to increased rice import combined with policy changes under the rice tariffication law significantly it posed challenges to the financial health of a rice milling and trading business in the Philippines. The business must adapt by exploring a diversification, enhancing operational efficiency, and potentially accessing government support to navigate the financial risk and also to attain what we call sustainable and long-term viability of this industry. So here's some of the reference on this discussion. So let's proceed to decision-making models. So using a financial models to make investment decisions, manage risk, and plan for future growth. So in the context, a medium-sized banana export company based in Davao del Norte, Philippines, is considering expanding its operations due to increasing demand for the Philippine bananas in Asian markets, particularly in Japan and South Korea. The company aims to decide whether to invest in expanding its plantation or upgrading its processing facilities to meet the growing demand. So here's the objectives. So the management needs to evaluate the potential return on investment or ROI. So we need to have a evaluation because you are considering to invest in a huge and significant amount. And by having decisions like this, major investment, there is what we call a risk. And as part of your evaluation is how you manage this associated risk in that decision. And also to plan for the potential growth of your operation. So here, the following are the financial models that are going to use in this analysis. The net present value and also the internal rate of return. So according to Investopedia, net present value is the difference between the present value of cash inflows and the present value of cash outflow over a period of time. Okay, that is the result of that will be the net present value. So the company projects the future cash flow from the expanded operations and discounts them to the present value using a discount rate that reflects the company's cost of capital. So if the net present value is positive, the investment is considered financially viable. So another one is the internal rate of return, a financial metric used to measure the profitability of an investment that takes into account the time value of money. So the internal rate of return is calculated by this industry in order for them to determine the rate of return that the company can expect from the investment. If the internal rate of return will exceeds the company's required rate of return, then we can safely assume that the expansion is deemed a worthwhile investment. So, example, after calculating the net present value and the uh, internal IRR, yes, the internal rate of return, the company finds a net present value of let's say 50 million pesos and an internal rate of return of 18%, which exceeds the required rate of return of 12%. So this indicates that expanding the plantation is a financially a sound decision. So let's proceed to the sensitivity analysis. So the purpose of this is to assess how sensitive the project's outcomes are to the changes in key assumptions such as banana prices, export volumes, and exchange rates. So the company conducts a what we call the sensitivity analysis to see how the changes in market conditions, for example, 10% drop in banana prices or 5% appreciation in the Philippine peso, would affect the net present value or the internal return rate and the internal rate of return. So example here, the price sensitivity, uh, the change in quantity to be divided in the change in price. So the analysis reveals that the 10% drop in banana price would still result in a positive net present value, but the internal rate of return will drop to 14%. This indicates that while the project is sensitive to price fluctuation, somehow it remains a viable investment and worthy to pursue. So here, the scenario planning. So the purpose is to explore the different future scenarios, such as continued market growth, market saturation, or increased competition from other banana exporting countries. And when there is a competition, the supply is somehow affected, and the price is also uh, part of that to be considered. So the company models various scenarios to understand the potential risk and opportunities. For instance, a pessimistic scenario assumes increased competition from, for example, Ecuador, and an optimistic scenario will assume a higher demand due to trade agreements. So, example, in this optimistic scenario, the company sees a potential net present value increase of 30% due to a higher demand. Whereas in the pessimistic scenario, the net present value declines by 15%, but still remains positive. This helps in planning strategies for different market conditions. And then let's talk about the break-even analysis. The purpose of this is to determine the minimum production and sales level required to cover costs and achieve profitability. The company calculates the break-even point considering the additional costs of new plantation and the processing facilities. So these are uh, considerations that are needed to be put into this analysis. Example, the break-even analysis shows that the company needs to sell a 15,000 metric tons of bananas annually at the current price to cover the expansion costs. So with that, you already have a goal that needs to met in order to maintain a advantage position in the market. Given the current demand trends, the company is confident it can exceed this threshold. Okay, so you get the concept. Using these financial models, the company decides to proceed with the expansion, confident that it can manage the risk by strong implementation of good practices and also a good management practices in order to ensure and in order for the company to achieve its desired objective and also to achieve future growth. So the sensitivity analysis and scenario planning ensure that the company is prepared for various market conditions, while the break-even analysis provides a clear target for maintaining profitability. So here's the references gathered for this discussion. So thank you very much of your for your time for having me in this discussion. So stay tuned for another lecture series related to this topic. Thank you very much and have a good day to everyone.